Welcome to Bullying Awareness and Prevention Week. Each day this week we'll be showcasing a different aspect of bullying. Today, we will begin with awareness.
They stuck tacks in my chair. They'd find out what seat I was sitting in and they'd put a tack in my chair.
And they would call me names. They would trip me.
I mean, they were kicking, punching, biting, didn't matter what it was. There was about 6 of them.
You know, sometimes they'd knock things out of my hands, or, you know, the comments were always so the teachers couldn't hear.
Students, if you received the ribbon when you walked into class, please stand. Look around, Rams. Approximately 1 in every 4 students in your class is standing. Did you know 1 in 4 students is a victim of bullying every day? That's a lot of people. We have about 3,000 students here. That will mean every day approximately 800 people might be the target of bullies. If an average class holds 40 students, then that means we could fill up 20 classes with people who are being bullied. Think about that. School should be a place to learn and grow.
Maybe you bully because your friends do it. Maybe you don't stop bullying when you see it because it isn't cool to the people you hang out with. Miss Brownlee, our yearbook teacher here at Rancho, had experiences with this growing up, and she's going to share how that affected her.
When I was in elementary school, there was a little girl, her name was Terry. I'll never forget her. Terry was different from the rest of us simply because she was poor. That was her only crime. She wore clothes that were dirty, that were torn, that were ragged. Every day people would make jokes about her. No one sat with her. No one was nice to her. No one was friendly to her at all. I believe that's the only reason that anybody teased her, because she was blatantly poor. Her financial level didn't have to be her social level. It didn't have to determine who she was. Some 30 years later, I still wonder what happened to Terry and why didn't I do anything to help her? I know it's hard when people put you in a shell and they want to define you as one way, and it's hard to break out of that shell. When I was in high school, I was described as a nerd, and because I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't curse, and I always did my homework. I was always on the honor roll, and that was okay because I embraced who I was, and I made it a thing to be proud of. I wish that I would have spoken up on her behalf and asked kids to leave her alone, and I wish I would have initiated more of a friendship to her because she didn't deserve the treatment that she received. She had done nothing wrong.
Rams, bullying someone because others do it isn't cool. You can make your own decisions. Don't let anyone pressure you to bully someone or to not report it. Do what's right. Think about your best friend, your little brother, your little sister. Would you want someone to bully them?
I would just go home at the end of the day, and I was in a new place, didn't know many people, people were mean, and I would just go home and cry.
Rams, think about this. We all feel the same things no matter what we look like or where we come from. We all want the same things. We want to have friends, we want to be loved, we want to feel good about ourselves.
When you encounter someone who looks differently or talks differently or is from a different place, just remember, inside, we're all the same.
Moved from Las Vegas to St. Louis. They would pick fun at me asking if my father worked for the mob. I think what hurt me the most was that it wasn't just that I was being insulted, but Vegas was my childhood home. At first I just wanted it to be hush-hush. I didn't want anybody to know about it. But it was really hard to deal with it that way. And it wasn't the right way to address it. They were reacting out of something they didn't understand. It wasn't really about me. They were just naive kids that were saying silly, mean things. And I don't think they understood how much they were affecting me. And so as an adult, I'm able to look back on that and realize that I needed to let it go for me. And eventually you got to look at it and say, okay, how did I grow because of this? And how can I help others grow?
Peer pressure is a part of human nature. Peer pressure and bullying go hand in hand.
Life's too short to make others miserable. You should be trying to make others happy around you. I started getting bullied when I was in middle school, and these girls that started bullying me, they had a purposeful intent, and every day they would look for me. And they would call me names. I would hide from them. I would go down the hall and run down the hallways trying to get away from them and try to get to my classes as soon as possible. I felt like a loser, and I felt like something was wrong with me. Nothing was wrong with me. You just have to take yourself away from them, and not, as hard as it is, it's really, really hard to say, not let it affect you, but you have to make that choice that you're not going to let it affect who you are. But just keep doing the right thing.
Be a leader. Be the one who says no. Use peer pressure to be good. Being mean to others isn't funny. You know what the right thing to do is, so do it. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's as simple as that. It's okay to say no, no matter what the situation is.
Name called and sometimes they'd knock things out of my hands, or the comments were always so the teachers couldn't hear or the adults couldn't hear. But yeah.
What should you do if you're being bullied? First, do not blame yourself. You might think it's your fault, but it's never your fault. Never be ashamed of who you are.
Hang in there. Because you know what? Life gets so much better when you grow up, and when you get out of school, things just get so much better. And no matter how bad they make you feel, there's nothing wrong with you. There was nothing wrong with me. I just, it's like having brown hair or blue eyes. It is what it is, and there was nothing wrong with it.
Do not be afraid to get help. It may seem hard at first, but your teachers and counselors are there to help you.
Somewhere out there is a teacher or an adult who will stand by you. Somewhere out there are people who will stand up with you against these people. Tell somebody. And if you think you're alone out there, you're not. You are absolutely not.
Asking for help doesn't mean you're weak or there's something wrong with you. We all need help sometimes. That's because we're all human.
But I know my 50-year-old self would have told my 10-year-old self to just hang in there. Things get better. You won't always be the powerless one. And I think that's the worst feeling, is just feeling powerless. And you won't stay that way forever. You will get through it.